Okay, Ian, it's let's see, Wednesday here in Bogota, Colombia, 8 o'clock. Come to think of it, right now, Colombia is at the same. It's Central Time in relation to the U.S. So right now it's about 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Tulsa time. Okay, so Ian, this is part five. One, two, three. Part six. Part six of the inheritance. Okay, and wanted to go over, basically summarize, and then going to go into a couple things. Now, I'm doing this with you because, first of all, I know you're looking at them. I'm able to tell whether or not people are watching the videos, and I can tell that some videos haven't been looked at, maybe once or twice. Some videos have been looked at as many as 12 times. So they're getting, and they're going to get a whole lot more because eventually I'm going to take these viral. Okay, no question about it, especially on Facebook. A lot of people on Facebook need to see these videos. Okay, but anyway, that's down the road. I'm in no hurry. But the main point here, Ian, is this. I'm going to summarize. The Just Right to Check Foundation has made you an incredible offer, and that is, the conditions involved. That is, I want to talk to my children. I want to talk to Katya. I want to talk to Isaac, and I want to talk to Christian. Now, I understand that they. My understanding is, I had a lady friend of mine call me up, send me an email. I called her, said that she had talked to Mighty Soul. I've had a lot of my friends calling her office up for me to get the numbers to my children, and that's going to continue, and that's going to get larger and larger. Uh, Sooner or later, I'm going to get my children's phone numbers. Here very shortly, I'm going to be hiring private detectives in Tulsa. I'm also going to subscribe to some expensive services that'll, if they have email addresses or anything like email addresses, cell phone numbers, landlines, believe me, I will find them. Okay, I'm going to talk to my children. Why? Well, you might say, why when they don't want to talk to me? Because I look at it this way, Ian. My children are Bourbonos as far as I know. Now, if they're Busquets now, I've kind of already talked about that. But anyway, if they're Bourbonos, hey, listen, don't want to talk to me? Say it to my face. Say it to their father's face. Okay? Don't send little messengers or Mamacita or you or anybody else. They're old enough, 13, 15, and 17. Okay, to say something. Okay, but is in the condition. It's not going to be a whereby they call me, I call them, and say, "Oh, I don't want to talk to you," and that's it. No, 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 no. That's not the way that it's going to work. See, one thing I know for sure and believe for sure is that Katya, Isaac, and Christian have been poisoned, okay, through who knows what kind of vile accusations, etc. The perversions and abominations are beyond my imagination. And I'm going to go into that in more detail here. Now, you're already familiar with that because, as I had mentioned to you, your grandfather Papon, on the day that your mother and I got married, when you told him that you could now call me Papa, he told you in an anger that don't you dare ever call me Papa. You were always to call me James, okay? And so the poison started. And later on, they were poisoning you. They would talk behind my back. They would talk evil of me, etc. You would come home and tell us that. So I'm not making that up. You know that to be true. So do I expect that Papon, Georgie, George, whatever, okay, and the Busquets, as well as your mother, have been speaking well of me? Hell no. You got to be kidding to believe that I would believe that. There isn't anything good that's been said about me. But you know what? The problem with that is this: they don't know the truth. Okay, now when I was when I mean the lies and the abominations started in the very beginning. But anyway, uh, uh, I don't know. There's so much stuff. It's unbelievable. I think I would probably have to make 200 videos to cover everything, and eventually I will. Okay, because it's like for prosperity. Sooner or later, my children will wake up to the reality of the truth. And boy, I tell you what, Busquets wouldn't want to be around when that happens. Okay, but it will happen. The truth will happen. Just like eventually I found out the truth about what happened between my mom and dad and the divorce, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And just like you're finding out the truth about, your parents' divorce, and that, your mother, never consummated the marriage with Michael until 3.5 years into the marriage, and she wouldn't let him touch him. Same problems I had, okay, until finally he had got fed up and all that kind of stuff. All right, a nightmare. Okay, see, Michael, he understands what I went through, except that he hung up for 7 years. I hung up for 14 years. Okay, I hung up because of three people, three reasons: Katya, Isaac, and Christian. Okay, For them, I hung up. I hung on. Well, Michael, for his reasons, he chose not to hang on because of you, and that's okay. Listen, I don't hold that against him at all whatsoever because I understand what the hell he went through. I mean, can you imagine marrying a woman and for 3.5 years you can't touch her, you can't have sex with her, you can't any of that? I mean, give me a break, okay? A woman you can't kiss and all that. Woman doesn't like to hold hands, doesn't know how to say nice things, etc., and then go on and go on and go on. Okay, so Michael knows what I went through because he lived it himself. There's no question about that. Now, but let's not get into that. Let's talk about because that title is I'm going to cover extensively. I'm going to cover is the the conditions with on your tuition as I'm going to talk to my children. Okay, and you're gonna get me that. Now you might want to do this. You might want to talk to Katya, Isaac, and Christian and let them know the condition that I gave you. See whether or not they care enough for you. Forget me for the moment, because I know they've been poisoned. I know that they've been totally with transfusion, Busquet transfusion. Okay, and I know that. But you talk to them, Isaac, and say, your dad's willing to do this for me, but in order for that to happen, you know, I've got to give him your phone numbers and all that, and so that he talks to you. Okay, would you ask him? Would you do that for me so that I can have my dream? If you say no, I won't. But if you say yes, it's okay. We'll talk to him, and then so that you can have your dream. I don't know. Would Katya, Isaac, and Christian do that for you, Christian? Ian, would they do that for you? Katya might not, and actually, you and I know why. There's a possibility she might not because of an incident that occurred. She might not. Okay. Um, I'm sure she's forgiven you and all that, but anyway, uh, I don't know. Might ask them. You could say in a sense your future career in cinematography could depend totally on it. I don't know. Really, I mean, it's not even your mother to make that decision. In other words, if you're asking your mother, "Is it okay if I do that?" and she says no, I'll be honest with you. If you accept that, you are actually I mean a loser, man. If you accept that, number one, it shows how much she cares about you, which is about as much as Papon cares about you. Because, like I mentioned before, with all the gift, listen, let me tell you something. If I didn't believe in you and your ability and your talents, you think I'd throw away $40,000? Maybe I would, probably would, in a manner of speaking. But see, I'm going to get to talk to my children eventually. It's going to happen. And listen, what's going to get me to stop and just put everything aside is that my children know the truth, everything that happened in the divorce court and before and everything. Once they know the truth, I don't have any problem. If they say, "Well, we don't want to see you anymore," I don't have any problem with that. Because see, then they have all the knowledge. And believe me, in relation to the divorce, I have all the evidence and all the documents of the abominations that was committed by your mother. Okay? I have all of those. Now the judge, her buddy, and Williamson, her attorney, and the other, they tried to seal the records, but see, they had a problem with that. And they know they have a problem. That's why they tried to burn my house down, to destroy it. And that is, they know that I have every single sheet of paper in that case file. So they can seal everything they want. Eventually, I'm believing it's going to get to a grand jury. And I'm going to talk about that one soon. Now, so you should talk to Katya, Isaac, and Christian. Your future depends on it, man. I mean, unless you maybe your Michael, your biological father, maybe he can pay the 40 grand a year. I don't know, what is it, 4 years, whatever it is. Like I told you before, Papon ain't in hell gonna pay that. Now, but at the same time, he just very well might. Just very well might. Why? So that Katya, Isaac, and Christian don't learn the truth. To try to block it. He might. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you what. That's a longer shot. That's a longer roll of the dice on a crap table than it is with me. Than it is with me. I'll tell you that. Well, I'm going to continue to the next video because I definitely got a lot more to say. Okay, so the next video is coming up. That's going to be, I think, number 7. I think I don't know, man. There's going to be so many of these. Okay.